Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. Share the line. Yeah. Share the line, folks, and smash that emoji button as well. Those of you who have already joined us, I see the numbers running up already. Good to have all of you in the ring with us. Share. Oh, the riggers, the really rigging. Overrigged. Overcooking, overrigged. The PPP 32nd Congress rigged. When you see some strange anomalies, the real riggers, the PPP, pandemonium and confusion inside. We know the whole thing. We know the whole thing. Rigging over it. Share the like, folks. Smash that emoji button. We're happy to have you folks on with us this evening. It's pace. Some folks said they were ready to fight early. Apologies. Who no. But good to have you all here. Folks, give us a share. Smash that emoji button, please, and thank you. Set us in the right direction. Who no, the riggers. What a weekend it was, folks. Too long. We had to come on to the holiday yesterday. It's too long. Folks, share that live for us. Share our broadcast so that others get the valid and credible information while we try to share ourselves with some profiles and some pages. Myrna, is it you? Toby? Abigail Semple, is it you, Abigail? Everell, is it you? Charles Nelson, is it Charles? Is it Charles BCF? Is Charles BCN? Do let us know, good folks. Is it Charles? Jolly Miller, Mario Bella, Debbie Apple, Renrick Daly, good to have you on with us, folks. Pearson Power, share that live for us. Donna Miller, we see you there as well. Good to have you, Donna. Ring the bell one time for some good folks. Good to have you. Does that bell ring? How much time for you, Ari? Good to see you, Donna, and all the other folks joining us. We got the opener set. No time to lose. No time to waste. We got the opener, folks. You all know the program already. You know how we roll, when we roll, and how we roll, and why we roll like that. The opener, the teacher strike. Did you know that? Did you know that? Good. Hold on. Come back. Bring me back. The teacher have struck. Colleen Solomon, Gladys Roberts, Yvonne, Wenda, Wendy, Maxine, Deborah, Bernadine, teacher strike, Sardia. Good to have you, Sharon, Loretta. Good to have all of you on the live. Teacher strike, folks. Share that live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Teachers strike. Thursday. It's a lot, folks. It's a lot to cover. And that's the opener tonight. That's what they're going to do. The teachers are to resume their strike action on Thursday. That's what pull it back for us. Pull it back. That's what the folks are telling us. On Thursday coming, the teachers are going to continue their strike action. They said they're not going to strike. They're extending, they're continuing their strike action, folks. We know the whole thing. Take a look. Take a listen, folks, and take a look. The opener, teachers to strike.
The Guyana Teachers Union said that it consulted its members and eventually decided to act on the General Council decision to strike.
Several weeks ago, that the General Council would have given as its number one step to have strike action resumed. So here we are making an official announcement that because of the absence of collective bargaining and an attempt on the part of the government, the Ministry of Education, to address the conditions under which teachers work, especially as it relates to salaries, we are here to announce that on Thursday, from Thursday, May the 9th, the strike action will resume.
That was President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light. He said that the strike would be spread across every education district. Like said, the union has officially informed the Education Ministry.
It has been brought to the attention of the Minister of Education, Honorable Priya Manichan, and the Minister of Labor, Honorable Joseph Hamilton. We've also copied our correspondence to the Chief Labor Officer, the Chief Education Officer. We've copied our letter to the ILO, International Labour Organization, the Caribbean Union of Teachers, and Education International.
He said that the Education Ministry that now has the authority to negotiate should. He said that the matter wouldn't be resolved through talk.
I hope that for the sake of our children and the sake of all educators, that we have this matter resolved, and we hereby call on all our members, irrespective of your race, your color, your political persuasion, irrespective of your region and your economic status, to support the call at this moment.
Got to support, folks. Got to support. And there it is. The Guyana Teachers Union, they're going to strike. They are going to strike on Thursday. Slippers back on the ground. You better dust it off. Better get out your water bottle, your sun cap, get out your sunscreen. Boots back on the ground, slippers back on the ground. Tell who needs to be told. You better take a screenshot and send a couple of folks. The Guyana Teachers Union. They're going to strike, folks, on Thursday. Get the kids set for that, you know. They're the ones always affected by these issues the most. But we all want the betterment, a better education system for them. That's what this is about. This is not about personalities. It's not about politics. And some of that was articulated very, very clearly by the Guyana Teachers Union president. It's not about politics. It's not about if you like somebody, if you like the face or anything like that. But it's what must be done because these guys not listening. Right? You think they're listening? If they listen, they're clearly hearing nothing. So strike action looms. Good people, strike action looms. How are you guys doing out there? How are you guys this evening? Share the line, ring the bell one time for our good folks. Veronica Primo, Marlon Thomas, Maxine, Ingrid Neon, Mouche. Who's Mouche? Paulette, Tuana. Gonna have all of you folks on the live. Shellon is here as well. Great to see all of you. Good folks. Really good to see each and every one of you on the live. And let's get a move on, folks. Let's pick up on a couple of things. Not plenty. No. A couple of things, folks, we're following internationally. Whole one should be upside down. A couple of things we're following internationally, folks. Oh, we so loud, belly skin. Not plenty. Just a couple of those things we're tracking internationally. Look at this one, folks. South Africa, I think it is. Thank God I saw the thing before. Rescuers are working in South Africa, they tell us, to rescue a number of persons as a building collapsed in South Africa. Building, and it's the second night of that rescue operation. They're telling us that in South Africa, construction workers were rescued from a 5-story apartment complex collapsed in a place called George, South Africa. The whole building fell down. At least 7 persons have been confirmed dead. 20 have now been rescued. 26. They tell us the rescue operation involved a communication with at least 11 trapped workers. And this rescue operation is expected to take a number of days. Yep. A number of persons have already been pulled. About 5 persons have already been pulled and rescued today, Tuesday, adding to 21 persons who were found on Monday. I'm so happy about that. Number of persons equally dead from this. Pray for the folks there in South Africa. They got their own trouble with governance and a number of things, and now they got this whole building collapse on top of that, folks. On top of that. Yeah, that's what we're following at this hour. This deadly building collapse there in South Africa. Pray for our brothers and sisters on that side of the Atlantic, folks. pray for our brothers and sisters on that side of the Atlantic. That's just one of the things we follow. Look at this one here now. Look at this one here now. A fellow who pulled a gun on a pastor and sat on Sunday rather. He's now been charged with homicide and a totally separate issue. We pull this one because it risks some mental health. Got a lot of mental health issues. Walking around looking sane. We saw a number of them on display over the weekend at a conference that happened. Walking around looking sane. A lot of craziness, a lot of foolishness happening in the world today. A lot of people walking around. You all know what I'm talking about. You all saw the kind of foolishness happened over the weekend at our Congress. So Bernard Junior Polite, that's his name, a Pennsylvania native, a Pennsylvania resident, at least 26 years old, barely, has been arrested for allegedly attempting to shoot one Reverend Glenn Germany during a service at the church on Sunday. The name of the church is Jesus' Dwelling Place Church, in a place called North Braddock, Pennsylvania. Yep. Pull the whole gun on the pastor. Right? Imagine the church service being live streamed. Live streamed, you know. While Bernard was pulling this gun and was ultimately tackled by a church deacon after the handgun jammed. My God. Father, don't sleep. The handgun jammed. The pastor tackled him. Yep. Good book says the kingdom suffereth violence, and the violence taken by force. That was the deacon there. Tackling Bernard by force. Whole damn world upside down. We say here upside down. Who's sharing their lives tonight? Better international news. This one got some bearing on us. What's happening with Chevron, folks? Remember that matter concerning Chevron and oil block and who can sell and who can't sell? This one we're following. This is one we're following. The Exxon for Chevron, the Exxon for ExxonMobil. Like I seeing things. Like I seeing things. The CEO for ExxonMobil, Darren Woods, he says that this dispute with Chevron over whether Hess Corporation Guyana can sell, what the hell? Whether Hess Corporation can sell its Guyana assets may not be resolved until 2025. Still got some ways left to go, good folks. Still got some ways left to go, and this is until 20, so they can track this down the road. Exxon is claiming a right of first refusal on Hess's assets on that joint operating agreement. The arbitration panel, believe it or not, this is how this matter is dragging. The arbitration panel is yet even to be selected. Is yet even to be selected. And that's why the folks say what the folks say. That's why the folks saying what the folks say. This one's going to take a little time. So this has some implications for us. Everybody making money off of oil but us. It's a sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. Everybody making money off of we, but we Lester, Kurt, Glenford, Natasha, Lester, Eva, Yvette, Debbie. My God. You don't think it's easy in this country? Well, it's not. Just a couple of things we're following. And finally, folks, Grenada water rationing. You see this Caribbean heat and drought and all these other things? It's having an impact. It's having an impact. Grenada's water rationing, believe it or not. It has now water usage restriction. Yeah, keep wasting the water. Yeah. Please refer to our morning program. What's happening with water in places like Madia? Just in case you don't know, the National Water and Sewage Authority in Grenada has enforced strict water usage restriction to combat water scarcity there. Yeah. How them boys operating here, we might be too far off. This starts on the 12th of May to reduce water wastage and to promote conservation. That's what's happening, folks. That's what's happening out here. This is what's happening out here on the Grenada front, on the Spice Island front. It's what's going down, folks. It's what's going down. That being said, folks, let's push on. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. We got a lot of ground to cover. And good to see so many of you on the line already. Share the line. That was the last one. Look what's happening. Trinidad, folks. Trinidad. The Minister of, the equivalent is, what do you call it? Natural Resources Minister. They're in Trinidad. He says, remember the oil spill? Tobago could cost as much as $30 million just for the cleanup. Just for this initial cleanup. Yep. Believe it or not, Energy Minister Stuart Young reported this quite recently, that the estimated cost of the Tobago oil spill at the central government level, big numbers, $30 million. This could cost them as a country. Right? Where the oil they going? Well, they don't tell we. The folks said the oil, the tanker, the barge, the coolie boy, the bound for Guyana. Well, of course, you all know them boys have disputed that vehemently. Them boys from Ship Chanjapal Drive, them boys from Freedom House. The riggers denied that. But of course, we told y'all that the analyst said, look to see who got the shortage. They're trying to hook up a barge right now in Bobis to give us more power. Look to see who got the shortage. And you're going to know exactly where this barge is going with all this oil that capsize. Yep, not just some of the things we're following Caribbean-wise, good folks. A couple of things we're following happening around the Caribbean. Let me come home now. Let me come in for London. Home, folks. Home. It's where charity begins. Let us come home. Yeah. It's where charity begins. We're coming in for London. Yeah, it's a lot, you know. A lot we gotta deal with this country. What a full weekend it was. What a full weekend. You know? Right where we need to be. Oh my God. You're going to sleep in blackout. You're waking up in blackout. No. I'm fed up of the PPP. I'm fed up of blackouts. All of them. You just have to put them on a boat, sail every man jack out to sea. All of them, folks, that look to see who got the shortage in oil. You're going to know exactly where the barge is going. $30 million cleanup. We fighting for $2 billion. $2 billion parent company guarantee. These things could have huge implications. They're telling us tomorrow, though. The barge going to connect tomorrow. That's what they're telling us. The barge is going to connect tomorrow, good folks. Y'all know we have to go and see for ourselves. We fast and we get around, folks. Don't worry about us. We tend to get around. Who vex? So what we saw, folks, over the weekend, we can show you some more of that. We get around. Y'all better know, better recognize. Don't take us for granted. Folks, this thing is going to cost us a lot of money. Millions upon millions. Billions. Taxpayers' dollar. This barge. What you all think happening? Billions of dollars. And of course, them boys gotta teeth out the thing. Of course, them boys gotta get a pound of flesh. We're here to the all. I'm telling you what the folks are telling us. Them boys, Father, help we. Help we. Gotta get a pound of flesh. No. There are a number of schools of thoughts on this particular issue. A number of thoughts on this very particular issue. Now, some people say this is a man-made issue. Right? A lot of incompetence happening. I'm just only reporting what we're being told. They say incompetence for so. I can left y'all to determine who is who and what is what. I want a problem. But we can show you folks how much we know. They said this thing is going to be, they said this barge is going to be up and running. This power ship delivering what? 36 megawatt up and running by tomorrow. Folks on the ground who understand these issues say this matter is not going to finish there. You're going to hear excuse after excuse when the power failures continue. So I'm telling you one time, don't get excited. Keep the champagne on ice. Good folks. Keep the champagne on ice. Because it's a set of old things to bring in. Right? It's a set of old things we hearing about. Old barge, old this, old nothing new. I wish you could see some of this. Where is it? Old barge, old this, old that. We were going somewhere as an administration. Going somewhere. We were about to make the turn. But them boys ain't like that. Them boys ain't like that. This is what we talk about the weekend, folks. Want to make sure that we have it for you. This was the barge in the Burbis River. Again, let me give you some of the information that we have at hand on this. This is supposed to be delivering 36 megawatts. We can do it? You believe them boys can do it? People sitting there the fingers crossed and uncrossed all at the same time. And it is aimed at reducing blackouts. You don't think it's gonna happen? You got to pay. It's gonna happen with people like Nanjalal there. That place had a fellow who understood power. He was hired by an international company that the previous government had outsourced this process to. Because you don't want friends, family, and favorites. An international company that does hiring. The matter was outsourced to them to find a suitable CEO for GPL. Soon as they came in, they fired the man. They bring back Bardindial, who their own government was on the brink of firing in the last power in 2015. Dindial did absolutely nothing. They move he. They're trying to catch now. People said nothing different is going to happen. What the power doing by you? Good folks. What the power doing by you all? How many blackouts you had for the day? How long we can check it? Andrew says a second-hand barge. This barge was in Cuba. Now they're saying some Cubans come in, experts to help us, when Cuba had a similar problem that they couldn't fix. This barge was in Cuba already. It's second-hand, beat up. Old ship. They're bringing here. The same way they went to, it's been about Honduras or somewhere, and buy some old generators, 80. What happened to the generators? Generators. Huh? 1.5 walking. Now they're bringing a barge. Bringing a barge. You see, somebody said right now, Tocqueville in blackout. Right now, Tocqueville in blackout. Somebody says, even Mattis, this is what we saw there in Everton, Berbice, over the weekend, as they get set to make the connection. I hope Kapawa know what they're doing. I just hope Kapawa know what they're doing. They landed this place at the whole bauxite company there in Everton and Berbice. Run some power lines quick. I'm sure somebody who owns this place will get some kickbacks. This whole bauxite company, Metallica, something is the name of it. Run some power lines quick. And they can now touch it up to the grid. You think it's one thing wrong in this country, folks? You think it's one thing wrong? Valid, credible information. Who's sharing the live? Who will smash the emoji button for us so that others get the valid and credible information? So this is what they're hoping on Save the Day. With those miscreants they put in the central executive of the PPP. Whole house. Folks that know says that the problems will persist at the Guyana Power and Light for a long time. So they're going to attach the boat there at the river. Bring the power via these cables you see there. And who knows? Will it work? Doubtful. Spoke with a lot of folks, the experts. They said the problem will persist because these guys don't know what they're doing. That's what they're telling us. These boys, so I thought you ought to hear from us. These boys don't know one thing. One thing what they're doing. We got to move on. Got a lot of other things to cover, folks. Next time, I'll give you the good news here. Because it's all downhill from this point. Loretta says no. Things will not look up. Glenford says no. Things will not look up. I see another comment here. Blackout in South Belt. Yeah. Let me hear. So now at least we can lash after. Next time, folks. Grand Coastal is now has won the TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Award for 2024. Next time. I know Grand Coastal got some nice food. I never stay there for long. Spent a couple hours in one of the rooms a couple of times. A couple of times. Well deserved. Well deserved, Grand Coastal. Advisors Travelers Award. Sorry. TripAdvisor rather. I say one story. TripAdvisor Travelers Award. And they rate these hotels and a number of things. And I'm very happy that one of our very own hotels, indigenous hotels, got it. TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Award 2024. Let me treat it with a dignity deserved. I think that's very good news stuff. That's really good. That's very good news stuff. Oh, you got this little bit to the Guyana Suriname Chamber of Commerce and the Berbice Chamber of Commerce signed a very important MOU over the weekend, hoping to advance trade relations between Guyana and Suriname and the businesses there in Berbice. Right across the border. That's not a bit of good news. I think there's great stuff still. A lot of guns being found. You know, a lot of guns in this town. All of a sudden, German Williams, young man, a boat captain from here, front side there, charged with possession of guns and ammunition. We doing that. Since some of it might have come from the submersible in Port Kaituma. Soon as the people come back, decadence and decay and all manner of vices we got to be contending with once more. When gun and ammunition, what's this foolishness about? I bet sketch you. Moving on, man. Signs of the times. Look at this. Young Ariel Thomas, 18 years old, a student of Diamond Secondary School, I think it is, drowned in the Essequibo River over the weekend we had, folks. Our thoughts and prayers with his family. You know, just this morning we're talking about the carnage on our waterways and our roadways. That's the norm. Violence against women and girls, and how they're electing those that perpetuate that violence to the CC. Y'all think this country is upside down? Thoughts and prayers with young Aliel Thomas's family, 18 years old and gone. I feel them a spine for this family, drowned over the weekend in the Essequibo River. Gone. Times again. Look, folks, when I did journalism at the University of Guyana, when I read communication studies at the University of Guyana, one of the cardinal rules, report the news, don't become it. Report the news, don't become the news. Times you understand. Now the Judicial Service Commission dropping lashing them. Wrong reporting, false reporting. It's what we've come to expect from the Guyana Times. Only better get it right before y'all end up where you're not supposed to end up. Of course, we got one and two good journalists in one and two of these places. You got 1.5 over times. So who's the one and who's the half? Judicial Service Commission today criticized the Guyana Times. Criticized the Guyana Times for report it carried on the recommendations of persons to be appointed pew-signed judges. The Times reporting inaccurately. The commission acknowledged the newspapers disseminated news. It said it was particularly disturbed by the unofficial nature of the information claimed to have been received from reliable sources. Not credible, reliable sources. So much for that. Guyana Times. Guyana Times being Guyana Times. No surprises here. Guyana Times being Guyana Times. Yeah. Lucky the court and sue y'all. Better get it right. Moving on, folks. Oh, God. A look story now. When these things happen, it's not the end. It's the beginning. The depots over the PPP. The definite. Rigged, folks. That's what the word on the ground is. Rigged. That's what folks telling us. That the PPP 32nd Congress, whatever they call it, was rigged. There you have it. We can end this show now. Rigged. We can take it in parts. Y'all saw the list. We were made to understand, folks, in the PPP right now. Shock and awe. People are, I shook it based on what's happening. Glenford, Edward, Enid, and all. And one of the things folks said to us, back channels, not only back channels, high back channels, where the photographs of the hugs and the gleeful faces from these internal meetings. We hear a lot of folks vexed, but going along. That sounds familiar. That sounds like PPP. Not so? Vexed, but going along. And y'all know who was the biggest down, and we coming wrong. All we're seeing is a one line. Who was re-elected? Then a two line. What transpired? Imagine the Central Exec had a meeting and they're showing you photos of the Congress. That is how tense things were today, folks. When the Central Exec elected members met, and now they folks, some of it, I ain't conformist yet. You know, you try to conform your sources, but they're telling us rigged. That's what we can conform. The PPP 32nd Congress was rigged, and we're getting this, folks, from the insiders there. People who know unreliable sources, like the Times relying on credible source. It rigged. Who's sharing the life away? And you all know it's true. Rigged. Give me time here. Rigged. Woman, who's sitting with this paper? So you go here. You come down. You could decide. You move. Who had the paper? You know, it's quite interesting that in this one photograph, you got Onage and you got Chanel Hussein Outar. Chanel Hussein Outar is a woman sandwiched between Irfan and whoever else sitting down in front of Onage. I don't know who's sitting. Look like Priya one time, look like some. But it's Chanel Hussein Outar. Chanel Hussein Outar. Between Irfan and that other person there. And then you got Onage. I remember Onage stood up in the National Assembly and said to this country why Afro-Guyanese were fired from the public service. Onage said they were fired and terminated because they mounted the political platform. They were supposed to be independent public permanent secretaries, and she listed a whole slew of names and designations. He said they got political. Now here is the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education, who we saw just recently with the teachers' representatives in that judge-ordered arbitration, and she didn't even do that correctly. You remember when Saddam said he didn't know he wasn't a negotiator? And then Outar took over? Well, Outar was there. And I think I saw another PS on the list. Then I see Coupe. Folks, the lines of anarchy, and the politics and governance being blurred. And it started with all those flags flying. And Gail said she flags can fly any place. She ain't bothered, she ain't concerned. I saw a number of persons who should not be at this venue. But we couldn't miss the opportunity to highlight Chanel Hussein Outar, PSs, permanent secretaries can be delegates now, can attend these highly political events so brazenly and so openly. And Onich can talk about who done political cap and deserve to be fired. There's always send out a house slave for do the dirty work. Always. So it's not. We ought to share with you who we saw. Jagabats and trench crappos. Sylvie, you remember that? Pretty Milicia, Claudette Phoenix, John Jones. John said PPP, don't care. Mark said out like so. She ought to do the honorable thing and resign. Commissioner Cole says conflict of interest. These things don't bother them boys. They don't bother them clearly. They don't bother them. But I want to detain y'all here only. The folks who know says in the ring, it was rigged. It was rigged. PPP people don't even know who was the returning officer. We've been asking around. They said the returning officer is the most tightly guarded secret. The insiders. They said they're just told the returning officer, inside a room. Never saw the person. And ballots were taken into that room. To this day, senior PPP operatives do not know who was the returning officer. The Congress election was rigged, highly rigged, rigged bigly and over-rigged. That's what the insiders are telling us. Pim, pam, pam. That's what they're telling us. Rigged, over-rigged, rigged bigly, rigged badly. Folks, my heart is so heavy. These are the real riggers here. Any Guyanese watching that list, you ain't got to ask what's going down. Is the any and the all sorts on this list? The any and the all sorts. Exhibit A. This all sorts next to Darmlal. Exhibit A. The all sort next to Darmlal. And Darmlal himself make the list. Kwame, high up on the list. Insider says in the ring, it was rigged. Several persons said, take her advice fit. The Congress, when people don't know who's the returning officer, you only see him ballots going in a room. And then when they come out, Kwame win. Darmlal win. Folks are telling us, rigged. And rigged bigly. Biggest loser, Nandalal. This will get dicey now. Because we hear not Anil furious. Anil said this concatenation. These vulgarities will not be tolerated. That's what he said. These obscenities, these concatenations, furious. We heard Anil was, you should hear the adjectives. You should describe Darmilal. You should describe McCoy. That they could win over him. That they could have folks close to the AG says. He gave Jagdio edge. He would even give Irfan an edge. See? Folks, the people said the thing was rigged. That's what they said, rigged bigly. Rigged bigly. Folks close to the age, he says, he will give Anil, he will give Jagdio said, all right, good. He's Jagdio. Irfan is president. I can see it up. This madness here, with Darmilal out of the blues, gets more votes than a sitting AG. With Darmilal. AG is reported to say, the insiders who know, you're putting for down now. And if that wasn't an insult greater than his life, he got McCoy beating out Mr. Concatenations. He's not going to stand for it. We hear this matter like me all the way to the CCJ. Concatenations and all. I see people call Richard Jones calling for Order 60. These vulgarities, these obscenities. We heard the man is not in a good place mentally because of that list we showed you early on. He is not in a sound place mentally. Folks close to the action told us, and we have no reason to disbelieve them. Things in a fragile state. I could only imagine. You got a reputation, a bright boy, a chattery, a powerhouse like Anil, right? And now you got to call Kwame elder, senior. You got to give up your seat now in the National Assembly and take some back row because because you said in the National Assembly according to your party seniority, or rather your seniority in your party. That's how you said. Your seniority in the party. So you can imagine Anil on a second row or a third row and Kwame take his seat now. He said he's mad. Eva said he was furious. Martin says karma is a boss. Leslie Hamilton said, what a shape. Rigged. Samuel Jack. Hold on. This party upside down. In many ways. We saw the headline, Bart Jagdio elected unanimously. People told us, he told his minions to put that out. It was big fight. today at Freedom House. Big fight. You remember the last Congress? Not Anil. Irfan coming like 16th, he joined the president. Anil got like 5th or 6th. Could have been higher place. And Irfan joined president. Irfan is the highest go-getter. In their party, the general secretary is the highest post. The general secretary is the leader of the party. Irfan get the highest votes. And he can get general secretary. What kind of upside down arrangement is this? But folks who know Valerie, Ida Rodney, folks who know Tracy Clark, Tracy was livid. Tracy knows. Folks tell us that initially Jagdeo was not appointed general secretary. But he wasn't having any of it. And there were a number of threatenings. Release the minutes, PPP. Release the SOP, PPP. Release the minutes of the meeting of the CC. Jagdeo was not elected general secretary on the first ballot. And furiously, he charged his minions, put out the information. Notice, that was the only information put out. And then we saw some other things in other posts on the PPP profile. Yeah. Credible sources, high back channels tell us he was not elected as general secretary on the first ballot. Here we hear pews fight in the PPP. Who is these Johnny come latelys? Brown nose, good for nothing. People who have suddenly taken over the Jerry Jagan party. Who no. Unanimously. Unanimously. Time is reporting that. Guyana time, unanimously. Folks, stranger than fiction. Stranger than fiction. When all that is happening, country falling apart. Country is falling apart. And we reported in some of this. What we saw, for instance, at Port Kaituma over the weekend. Saw a lot of things over the weekend. 2 weekends ago, when we saw at Port Kaituma, we saw a lot of people over the weekend, strangely. I know why Mansour didn't just wear red shirt and done. Making himself a comic, like the independent. Mansour is PPP. We spot in a red shirt mark PPP. I support PPP. I love PPP. On the before. But this is the fiction they tell themselves. If I wear blue, I can convince people that I'm not PPP. I say independent, judicious, just, Speaker of the House. You're only fooling yourself, Mansour. You're only fooling yourself. How are you going to laugh them to scorn Thursday? We're going to sit in the National Assembly on Thursday. How are you going to laugh the whole pack of them to scorn? Riggers. That's a word y'all hear plenty Thursday. I tell you all in advance. Mr. Speaker, is you counting the votes? Mr. Speaker, is you counting? Wasting people time. As we close, good folks. Spotted as well in Sophia today, leader of the opposition, doing a lot of hard work. But he's laughing these riggers to scorn in the PPP. Laughing them to scorn. Pack of riggers. Laughing them to scorn. What madness is this? So the leader of the opposition was in E-Field, Sophia today, addressing a number of issues. I hear them knocking down houses, government. They ain't have trouble knocking down houses in Sophia now. So the leader of the opposition was out there, folks. Was out there. They got up. I told you we were a couple of days ago in Port Kaituma. A number of challenges with that administration there. Number of challenges. You see, big lead. But before I got there, I left that the icing on the cake. Listen to what a woman said. I almost missed it about the Dharamlal ascension back in the PPP. Take a look. Take a listen.
Hi, the PPP recently held its Congress, and selected as number 6 on the list was Mr. Nigel Dharamlal. Mr. Nigel Dharamlal was the minister, the disgraced minister of local government and regional development. If you can recall, he was forced to resign because he was accused of raping a 16-year-old indigenous schoolgirl. Charges were never filed because the girl rescinded her claim. The Central Executive Committee of the PPP party is very important, as it is a committee that will select the governing body of the PPP party. The members of the Central Executive Committee ought to be upstanding, moral, free from any kind of scandal persons. That is definitely not the case for Mr. Nigel Dharamlal. Now, we have many other members on that committee who have been accused of many different things. But it is important to speak about Mr. Nigel Dharamlal's selection, because what we have here is a women's right issue. Women in Guyana are not treated fairly. We are not treated properly. We are second-class citizens. It has become a human right for women in Guyana. The issues that we face every day. So in this respect, Mr. Dharamlal should not be allowed to serve on the committee. It goes without saying that all women should understand why Mr. Dharamlal should not be on this committee. And I am flabbergasted that he was allowed. He wasn't just allowed, he was selected as number 6. So you have a lot of fine, upstanding other members of PPP who could have gone on to that list. I reject Mr. Dharamlal's selection to that committee. And all women should reject that selection also. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what she said. She rejects Dharamlal on the list. She rejects it. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there, folks. That being said, that's our time and that's our program. Let's leave it there. Yeah, she rejects him. I think she speaking for thousands of women across this country. She rejects it. Glenford, Stacey Ann, Kirk, Linda and Ralph, Gary Greenwich, Coral, and all the other folks joining us this evening. Alison Cortez, Wilma Grant, Joylyn, Shireen, John Sullivan, watching the names, John Jones, good to see you folks. Marlon, thanks for joining us. Debbie, Stan, Diane, Sylvia, Pretty Melissa, Osman, thanks for joining us. The 1,000 of you, over 3,000 of you joined us this evening on our broadcast. Thank you guys so much. Share the live, smash that emoji button. We're out of here, folks. That's the last bell. That's the time and that's our program. It rigged, folks. Rigged for so. PPP. 32nd Congress. Rigged like that. Stay safe.